Hello there and welcome back to Plot Decoder Recap. Today we're diving deep into Reborn, a 2016 action thriller that proves sometimes the most dangerous weapon isn't a gun or a blade, it's a man trying to protect the one person who gives his life meaning. Fair warning, spoilers are coming in hot, so buckle up. But the movie wastes no time throwing us into the deep end. We open with a special forces team on what should be a routine rescue mission, but their target isn't your average criminal. They're hunting someone called the Ghost. A hitman so notorious that even elite soldiers whisper his name with fear. But here's the thing about hunting ghosts, sometimes they're already hunting you. One by one, these trained killers start dropping like flies, taken out by someone moving through the shadows like death itself. But then the film pulls a complete 180, and suddenly we're following a little girl named Sachi walking alone through the rain, finding a cat that's been killed by a car. Sachi doesn't just walk past this roadkill like most people would. She carefully picks up the lifeless animal and carries it to the beach, where she gives it a proper burial. Sachi heads to a small convenience store where we meet her guardian, Toshiro. He's running this tiny shop looking like the most ordinary middle-aged guy you've ever seen. Sachi has no parents, so Toshiro has stepped up to raise her, and their routine is heartwarming in its simplicity. Every night, they hit up their favorite local tavern for dinner and conversation. But here's where things get interesting. While Sachi sleeps peacefully, Toshiro is wide awake, haunted by memories that feel more like nightmares. The memories are so intense that Toshiro needs antidepressants just to function. And a customer is trying to buy groceries, and the guy behind the counter suddenly starts acting like he's seeing things that aren't there. It's unsettling enough that customers start backing away. Toshiro knows he needs help, so he visits his psychiatrist regularly. During one session, he does dreams where he's killed countless people, but the disturbing part isn't the violence, it's that when he wakes up, he can still smell the blood on his hands. The psychiatrist doesn't know what to make of this. Is it PTSD, or psychosis, or something else entirely? The answer comes sooner than expected. While working at his shop, Toshiro gets robbed by some punk with a knife demanding money. Now, most store owners would either comply in terror or try to call for help. Toshiro does neither. He calmly hands over the cash register money, then replaces it with his own funds from his wallet. No fear, no anger, just cold calculation. The robber doesn't realize he just held up someone who could have killed him 17 different ways before he even finished his threat. Later, Toshiro and Sachi visit a friend of his in the hospital, a man named Ken who's laid up with serious injuries. Ken isn't just any friend. He's someone who took those injuries helping Toshiro back when they both served in something called the Ghost. Special Forces. The pieces are starting to come together. Walking home from the hospital, Toshiro's old instincts kick in. He senses they're being followed. He tells her to go home while he handles whatever's coming. This isn't paranoia. This is a man whose survival instincts have been honed by years of combat. Sure enough, a woman attacks him from behind in the crowded street. To any bystanders, it probably looks like a mugging gone wrong. But Toshiro moves like water, and Toshiro is dodging bullets like he's in the Matrix. This isn't luck, this is a man operating at a level most people can't even comprehend. Cut to a war room where two men are studying Toshiro like a chess problem they can't solve. The first is Phantom, a general who used to be Toshiro's commanding officer back in the Ghost. The second is his subordinate, a young soldier they call Army Boy, who looks like he's barely old enough to vote, but carries himself like someone who's seen more action than most veterans. Phantom has a personal interest in capturing Toshiro, and it's not just professional. These two have history, the kind that ends with one of them dead. Army Boy is his weapon of choice, young, ruthless, and completely loyal to Phantom's cause. Meanwhile, Toshiro is trying to maintain some semblance of his normal life. More attackers come to his shop. This time disguised as health inspectors. Three men walk in looking official, but Toshiro can smell the danger on them like cheap cologne. He takes them down so efficiently that the other customers probably think they just witnessed some kind of performance art. Just when it seems like Toshiro is completely alone in this fight, two new players enter the game, Orson and Hikaru. They're not there to kill him, they're there to help. Despite being stuck in a hospital bed, has called in some favors. These two men are offering their services to help Toshiro survive whatever's coming next, while trying to use a payphone to check on Sachi. Remember those? Another female assassin makes her move. She's good, but not good enough. Toshiro eliminates her with the same cold efficiency we've seen before, then calmly calls Seishi to tell her she needs to stay with Mori, a family friend, because he won't be coming home tonight. While Orson and Hikaru are gathering weapons and sharing war story about Toshiro's legendary status in the Ghost, Phantom and Army Boy receive an unexpected message. Someone calling himself Abi's Walker contacts them with a simple message Toshiro is his target and they need to back off. This revelation adds another layer to the story. Abi's Walker isn't just another assassin, he's Toshiro's equal, possibly his superior. They trained together, fought together, and were considered Phantom's two strongest operatives. But now they're on opposite sides, and their conflict has turned personal. Toshiro isn't just good at what he does, he's operating at a level that makes other professionals look like amateurs. The tension escalates when Sashi is kidnapped by Army Boy while running a simple errand. Mori calls Toshiro in a panic, but Toshiro's response is unnervingly calm. He simply states that Sashi is with him now, which confuses Orson and Hikaru since they can clearly see she's not there. This isn't denial, it's the cold calculation of a man who understands exactly what's happening and is already planning his response. The next day, the three men plan their assault on Phantom's forest compound. The strategy is straightforward. Orson and Hikaru will infiltrate from the sides while Toshiro draws attention to himself. When they learn they're facing hundreds of trained soldiers, Orson and Hikaru start to lose their nerve. This is where we see Toshiro's leadership qualities. He doesn't give them a pep talk about courage or honor. Instead, he explains the psychology of combat. Excessive adrenaline breeds fear, and fear gets you killed. A true warrior learns to control both. His calm confidence is infectious, and soon his allies are ready to face impossible odds. The assault begins with Toshiro doing what he does best. Making noise, he fires a gun into the air, essentially announcing his presence to every soldier in the compound. It's either the most foolish or most confident thing you've ever seen. And given what we know about Toshiro, it's definitely the latter. Meanwhile, Orson and Hikaru are fighting their own battles, picking off regular troops with the weapons they've prepared. Hikaru encounters Army Boy and quickly learns that appearances are deceiving. But the real game changer arrives when Abi's Walker enters the battlefield. He's not there to help Phantom, he's there to finish his personal business with Toshiro, and anyone who gets in his way becomes collateral damage. The film splits into multiple action sequences here, each showcasing different combat styles and skill levels. Toshiro, on the other hand, he is dealing with wave after wave of special forces while simultaneously dodging sniper fire. Someone who's turned violence into an art form. Army Boy finally gets his chance to face Toshiro directly, and the contrast is striking. He tries to take them both out with a suicide bomb. But Toshiro is always thinking 3 steps ahead. He cuts the bomb's wires before Army Boy can complete his final act, saving both their lives in the process. After regrouping with Orson, Toshiro sends his ally ahead to find Seishi while he finishes clearing out the remaining soldiers. Even now, with victory within reach, he's not taking any chances. Every enemy left alive is a potential threat to the people he cares about. Inside Phantom's headquarters, Toshiro and Orson cut through the remaining guards like they're not even there. When they finally find Seishi, she's terrified but unharmed. Toshiro's relief is visible, but he can't celebrate yet. Phantom is still out there, and this won't end until one of them is dead. He instructs Orson to get Seishi to safety while he goes to finish what Phantom started years ago. Then comes the moment we've been building toward. Toshiro faces Abi's Walker. 2 masters of the same deadly art, are trained by the same instructors, forged in the same fires of war. Their fighting styles are mirror images of each other: speed, precision, and lethal efficiency. Abi's Walker falls with a single, perfectly placed strike. Toshiro tries to contact Orson to check on Seishi's status, but before he can get an answer, Phantom appears. The final confrontation isn't what you'd expect from an action movie. Phantom doesn't rely on superior firepower or numbers, he uses psychology. He attempts to hypnotize Toshiro, planning to kill him while he's defenseless. It's a strategy that might have worked years ago. He's fighting for Sashi, and that gives him a strength that Phantom never anticipated. Toshiro breaks free from the hypnotic control and kills Phantom with the same efficiency he's shown throughout the film. Victory comes at a cost. The accumulated damage from fighting dozens of elite soldiers finally catches up with Toshiro. The final scene takes us back to where Sachi's story began, a beach. But instead of burying a dead cat, she's remembering a man who gave everything to protect her. Orson is there with her, having apparently taken on the role of her guardian now that Toshiro is gone. Sachi's reminiscences aren't just memories, they're a testament to a man who found redemption not through forgiveness, but through sacrifice. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this deep dive into Reborn, don't forget to like and subscribe for more movie breakdowns that go beyond the surface level plot summaries.